Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's episode of Princesses Save Dragons. It is the final finale. So, if you have made it this far, thank you. Congratulations. I am your DM slash GM. I'm Jess. You might see me down in the chat as Angry Nerd Girl. Welcome. And you might have noticed that our General Layla and Macaulay are missing, so go give love to Lynn and CB on Twitter. They could not be here, but they send love to all of you. And without further ado, let's meet our princesses, starting with Margaret.
Hi everybody, I'm Margaret Faye. You can find me on the internet with the handle that's right underneath my face, and I am playing Irie, your Triton Warlock buddy who used to be Merfolk.
Christina.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina. You can find me on Twitter at D20xTina. I hope I did that right. I just made have looked like a complete dork, but hey, that's all right. I'm Mama, your cleric with a level bard, here to entertain.
Zan.
Hi, I'm Zan Larson, also known as Pale White Rabbit on Twitter and Instagram. And tonight I am playing Yrsa, the Queen of Snow, Genasi Storm Herald Barbarian.
And lastly, never leastly, Honey and Dice.
Hello, darlings. I'm Honey, aka Honey and Dice, and I play the Gnome Ranger, Princess Lalang Sabor.
All right, who wants to give us a quick and dirty recap of previously on in finale part 1 or 2, depending on how you're counting?
I guess I volunteer.
Inspiration die if you do it. Okay.
Volunteering. Probably can use that inspiration die, let's be honest. Alright, so last time we decided to go save a prince and a dragon. We got to the cottage, which appeared to be made out of sweets and fairly innocuous, but it was full of traps. Yrsa and Layla decided to enter in through the roof, while Aerie went in through the front door. The plan... Okay, plans A and B failed. Plan C succeeded. And Yrsa did the finishing blow. We found out that the dragon was actually a pseudo dragon, but still very likable and lovable, and we saved the prince. We actually got the prince back with his guardian.
Hypatia, I remember that.
Hypatia. Yes, who is evidently a very powerful witch, wizard, some sort of magic user. Seemed to be a little damaging to roofs when entering and leaving, but we'd already had a whole roof anyway, so that didn't matter. We discovered that our Tabaxi friend is actually a red dragon, and we took him to see Caraboss, but he still wants to come to the ball and sing before going to live with his brothers and sisters. So we are planning to go to this ball, and we have a lot of things in our possession that can make this ball very fun.
You do! And yeah, that sounds good to me. I'm just checking. Okay, good. I did make a stat block for him, just in case it matters. I was like, am I still using just College of Caterwauling stats? No, he has his own, just in case shit gets real. But why would it? You're gonna have a good time at a ball.
Yeah, it's a ball. What can go wrong with magical candy, potions that might turn people into animals.
Wronged with like magical being creatures who hoard dragons. Nothing's gonna go wrong.
Frosty axes, bags full of bread, arrows with bows on them. Normal ball stuff.
Yeah. And magical dresses. With
Oh, yes,
material totally not stolen.
The best magical dresses.
The best money didn't buy.
So, you were basically leaving Caraboss's place last time, correct? You had gotten your stuff.
We'd gotten our stuff, we left.
Okay.
And that was when we called
Hypatia,
And-
right.
Harpatia, and the prince left with her.
Mhm.
We still have a cat and a Sato dragon and a bunch of minstrels.
Mhm. And the minstrels have been keeping watch over your gowns.
Along with Honey's woodland friends.
Yes. So you have a couple days before the ball. Is there anything you would like to do other than hang out and party with the merry musicians?
Yes, Valani would like to. She's going to go after she makes sure the dresses are okay. She is going to actually go look for the bodies of Ismelda and Mimsy and all of them.
Okay.
And she's going to seek out whatever help she can to kind of give them a good burial and make it, all nice and respectful as possible. Lots of glitter, and bright colors. And she's going to be taking some time to make sure that she does that. Bury them near their hut, and
Yeah, you can find them fairly easily. You know where they fell, basically. So that shouldn't be a problem.
I will definitely help her with that and also organize some fittings so we all make sure our dresses look perfect.
I love it.
birds to help you out and pull the sleeves and
You're just gonna make sure that axe isn't gonna be a problem with the dress. After all the effort Lilani went to making it.
Mama, give me a dex check at advantage because you're being helped by the birds and stuff. Just to make sure that you can get everything fit properly.
That's a crit.
Yeah!
20!
So, y'all look sickening. You've never felt as comfortable or as well fit in any dress. Like, these were seriously made to order. So do you want to
Also-
describe your clothing now or when you get to the ball?
How about when we get to the ball?
Okay.
trying to remember the dress, the fabric.
Also going to take out that compass, just in case. Because we're in a different area now.
Mm-hmm. The compass that shows shards?
Mm-hmm. Just a direction. See if it points back towards town or not.
It does not point towards town. It does seem to be pointing like kind of at an angle.
Something to check out later.
But you also know the ball isn't in town. The ball's at the castle.
Oh. If I know the direction of the castle, is it pointing in that direction?
Give me a survival check.
Oh dear, this could get even more fun. Oh, it's cocked. Dee dee. Come on, internet. You can do it. 14?
Yeah. This seems to be pointing in the direction of the castle.
Okay. That could be a problem.
And Big Ben comes up to you and sees you with a compass. Goes, "So what are you doing there, princess?"
I'm a queen, but that doesn't matter. I am...
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm
They call me
I'm not
big,
one for-
but I'm very small for a bear. But I'm big for a human.
well. Sorry, I have to say this. Size doesn't matter all that much in the end. But, well, this...
Sounds like someone who doesn't duck in door frames.
I do have to duck in door frames sometimes.
Yeah,
But,
you're really tall.
Yeah. So we're both really tall.
Mhm.
And we're just having this discussion
Yeah, you're the giant bear.
with the giant bear. There might be some more problems than we were expecting at the ball.
I thought those point where you want to go.
In a way. I do want to go where this points. However, this could end up extremely dangerous for your companions and mine.
And he kind of pauses. Because, like, you might step on somebody's feet when you're dancing.
More like I'm probably going to have to get into a fight with whoever this is pointing to.
Because they step on your feet when you're dancing.
Let's go with that. Yes.
Well, I would promise not to step on your feet, but I can't make that promise, Princess Queen.
I'm sure your feet are very soft. I doubt I'd mind much.
He goes, well, I've got a spot next to me on the bandstand, and we'll have a good time.
I'll be sure to have one dance with you before I take care of this.
Well, I'll twirl you around all pretty.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, anything else y'all want to do?
Irie's gonna take some time getting used to her new robe of stars
Mm-hmm.
because it's awesome and it looks awesome.
It
and
does.
I'm betting it goes really nicely with her gown for the ball. So she does some, twirling herself and practicing with it a bit, because it's really cool.
The Lolly has that special book that they got, and every day for like a therapy purposes, he rips one page out, folds it into a nice little cute animal or something, and then unfolds it, and then sets it on fire. And then but she's also trying to learn more about the book, to see. She does not speak Infernal, and she has the feeling that's what it is, but like where it came from and so on. And in the interim, though, when she's really stressed out, she just goes to a book, and it's like her version of
A burn book.
a stress ball. Just almost a book as big as she is. Just open it up, sigh, write something angry on the page, rip it out, and then set it on fire.
So whenever you set it on fire, it takes flame, but doesn't burn.
See,
So-
that's going to cause some more stress.
The page that you light, the fire eventually dies away, and like the ball or animal that you left is unharmed.
Yep, this has become her like in between mission to find out what is going to destroy this paper. If it's not fire, to get some water, put it in the water, and watch it.
Water also does not seem
Yep.
to do much to it.
She's just. I don't understand why somebody would make something this abnormal. Like, this is against every natural order of anything you could possibly think. I mean, oh my goodness.
Irie would offer, probably seeing this and hearing about the unnatural book that can't be destroyed, would lightning help? And conjures a tentacle out of the ground to try and electrocute the book that is unnatural. If you like.
Lilani would be completely on board with this. She'd say, okay, let's try the light thing. She somehow found some goggles and put them on. And she's got rubber gloves on at this point that she's been using. And she takes some steps back and then she says, okay, and
Irie puts on protective gear.
and lightning. And this has probably gone on just out the blue. She's just started this whole experiment. The dresses are good to go, so now she's trying to figure out how to destroy this book.
So what kind of things do you typically write in the book before trying to destroy it?
Things like, it's very rude to not have food for your guests that is easily accessible. Not everybody speaks this language, and I have a serious problem with areas that lack in accessibility. And she's write a whole angry letter about accessibility. Another day, she's got her calligraphy set. So much beautiful writing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the kind of stuff that she's writing. And another thing, I do not think that your castle was very wheelchair accessible. It also was not a good temperature, just in case people have issues with this and that. And your imps don't seem to be well trained in people who have different body fits. Now, my friend did handle, like, it's letters.
So anytime you make a reference to food, that word glows, the letters jumble, and then nothing happens. But when Irie makes a tentacle, it zaps the page.
Yup.
It takes fire, and this time it's destroyed.
Look at that. The whole book or just the page?
Just the page.
Just, look at that, Harry. Oh my goodness, this is so wonderful. Did you see that? It's kind of charred and smoking, and oh, look at the aroma. It's like a pleasing aroma. I know that it's burnt, but there's like some satisfaction in knowing that it has finally been achieved.
It smells like burnt paper
Mm-hmm.
and also like spices, like cooking spices.
You know, I'm going to find somebody who is going to be able to help me work on translating this. And then I'm wondering if there is a way to like transfer the whole thing from infernal to maybe like celestial or something, and flip it over and make a celestial book. And maybe instead of bread, it'll make like cake. You know.
Cake would be nice.
Yes, I know.
Like angel food cake.
Yeah, Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I know you would understand. Like, she feels a lot. You see, just walks a little bit taller. Like, that has made her whole day. She spends extra time on Aries' hair if allowed. She's just, I can put it here, and in the morning, if I set this one just right, you're going to have beautiful ringlets. Or I can do it another way. She's just happy, like walking on sunshine. She was depressed about all the diet bodies. Everything was stressed out, but this just, the tentacle, the lightning, the burning page made her day. She just,
Mama, are you part of this book burning as well?
You know, I was gonna offer Sacred Flame, but then when the fire didn't work, I'm just gonna go retreat over and hang out with the other bards, and I'm going to teach them my song that I made to taunt Queen Joan. I'm gonna teach them that. Yeah.
All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I was going to have you give me a performance check, but you have a couple of days, and they're all trained musicians, and you're a trained musician, so you can do it.
Okay. I imagine that there would be some now. Stop screaming! It's not a screaming song. This is a melodious song. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's like the idea of like an opera singer versus a metalhead.
Yeah.
I'm imagining.
Or it's also like, this one's just an instrumental song. You don't need to scream.
Yeah, I mean, this band is basically like a guitar, a pan flute, a drum set, and a lyre / wolf howling. So make of that what you will.
Excellent. That's gonna sound real wacky.
Yeah. Alright, so after a couple days hanging out, torturing the book, reading a compass, having music training.
I will say Yrsa will warn Lilani that there might be a shard at the castle,
Okay.
and that if Yrsa gets into a fight with someone, might be best to just get everyone else out of the way.
you got it, darling. The flash bomb, and then put you in a net, and then drag you off to the side, and let you recover.
No. Do that after I destroy the other shard.
Okay, are we going to a ball to mess with the lady who thinks too much of herself, or are we going to the ball to destroy something, an artifact, or what's going?
Both.
Both sounds good. Walks by, continues to walk by.
Okay, so I am going to make a leap of faith here and say this is some ice cream stuff, and I don't need to understand it, but you want to get into fight with a shard.
I
Now-
might not need to fight if it's not on someone,
Mhm.
but if they have one of these, a fight is pretty much inevitable. Because
Okay.
I'm going to destroy their piece.
Okay, so get everybody out of the room. Could you possibly delay it so we can make sure we get some appetizers and some snacks off the table and get that out the room too? And then we lock the doors and leave you inside to do what you have to do. And then when you're finished and you've recovered, you just knock on the door or send Mama or Ari or someone a message. I don't know what has happened. And then we come and get you.
I will do my best to have that happen. I will try and get them into a side room after we've all had a dance or two.
Okay. All right. Again, I'm not going to pretend, darling, that I understand at all what is happening or what's going to happen and so on. But I can see that this is very important to you. So I will respect that this is something that you need to do.
Yes, it has to be done.
Okay, and if you go slightly off the rail and somehow turn back on the people who are not having the shard, remember, I am going to take you down.
And I appreciate that.
Yes, because I care about you so much. I don't want you to, have that on your conscience. Okay. I just love everybody is growing and having missions and things to do and becoming wonderful people. Oh, and the book catches on fire and she strikes it with lightning. Oh my goodness. She's just going to go for this.
I love it. Okay. So, Lilani, are you going to tell anybody else about what's going on with Ursa, or just keep it between the two of you on the DL?
Well, she didn't say tell anybody else about this.
Okay.
And she seemed to. Lilani has no idea what a shard even is.
Okay.
But she will go and let Mama know and Eri know. Okay, so if I say at any time, let's leave Ursa in the room and lock the door, just know there is a reason for that. It's a very personal reason. I'm not going to, she can share it if she wants to. But I did not tell her this. If it looks like it's going badly for her, we're going to come in and help her. But we're going to lock the door first because, again, this is some Ice Queen stuff. And I've seen Ursa when she gets with, I can't see and I'm going to kill everybody, And I don't want to see that, doubled or maybe she grows 15 times bigger and then start roaring. I don't know. Shards are mysterious.
I would love to see that. Do you think she can do that?
I don't know, really.
Who still has mushroom pieces left?
I think I still do. We didn't use mine.
To yourself. Oh my god, yes.
This
When the warning has the inverse effect.
Then everybody's like, oh, she's kind of adorable, really. She's and just tiny. That would be kind of cute. But terrifying still. And the last thing Alani is going to do, the night before the ball, Jessica, is she's going to use Identify on those vials that she has from Ismelda.
Okay, that sounds good. So, one is a potion of poison.
Mm-hmm.
One is basically a potion that acts like polymorph.
Mm-hmm.
That turns the imbiber into an alpaca.
Mm-hmm.
One is a potion that turns the imbiber into a squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
One turns the imbiber into a ficus plant.
Mm-hmm.
And the last is a potion of sudden death.
Mm-hmm.
While we were cleaning out the shelves at the house, or at the formerly candy house, I know that we scored a bunch of those potions. Is that all of them? Because if Identify were happening, I would definitely kick over the hey, so I also looted And here's a pile of possibly poison, possibly awesome potions.
Might want to also include the candy, and there was some powder.
Our mysterious hag loot.
Mama might want to help. If Lalani at that point would ask if Mama could help with the identified situation, because
Absolutely, I can do that.
that has to do one. But she puts on these tiny, like, cat eye gold rim glasses that have the little chain on it, and she's got her book and her quill. She's set up stuff. Probably someone interrupted her when she was about to write another angry letter in the book. But
Okay, so you have a couple other potions. So one of them turns the imbiber into a cat. One of them turns the imbiber into a human. One into an elf. One into a gnome. One into a gecko. One into a badger. And one of them is crawler mucus.
Cool.
is that sentient snot?
Here, I'll put in the Zoom what that is. That's one I didn't make up.
I'm curious, and
That's fun, right? It makes you paralyzed.
Ooh. Alright.
Ew, it is snot.
that's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Delightful.
I don't know what she was doing, but I'm glad she's not doing it anymore.
And you were identifying the candy. One of the candies, the butterscotch, has truth serum on it. And all of the rest appears to just be candy.
Sugar party. It's on.
Are we going to let Mama have the butterscotch to keep in her bag?
I mean, it seems like it would go with the theme. I would love to take that butterscotch. And I just get a little gummy in my pocket.
Have a candy me, huh? Now tell me where you were.
Oh my god, every grandma wants this candy.
I know.
Amazing. If people are actually trying the candy, I will totally eat one because she's had candy and that looks interesting. But
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw.
glad we're not doing this at the party. All right, cool. I'm not gonna die from a Jolly Rancher. It's gonna be fine, yo. Constitution saving throw?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 19.
Okay, you're fine.
Awesome.
You enjoy that candy. What's it taste like?
She has no idea, but I'm gonna say watermelon.
That's a good watermelon candy.
You know what? I'm curious, so I'll try a piece of candy as well.
Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
And I got a natural 1.
You're in luck. It's just regular candy.
Aww.
But it is old and the wrapper is like stuck to it.
Oh, not the best. Okay, I tried one.
So even though it's candy, it's like whether it's paper wrapper or plastic wrapper, you can pick, but it's like not totally delicious.
It's like one of those old wax paper wrappers where the taste of the wax has kind of gotten into the candy because it's that old. Yeah.
It tastes kind of like a cough drop now.
Probably used to be cherry.
That would taste like a cough drop now. All right. So, how are you all planning on getting to the ball? Are you walking to the castle? Are you hoping that the band has secured a ride? What is the plan? Because you were invited to play, but you still need to get there.
Is there anywhere in town that we could rent a carriage?
There very well could be.
Or someone that would be able to transform something into a carriage? I don't know.
Is
Well, you
there
just killed the 3 people that tended to do most of the magic in town. But
Yeah.
Should we call Hypatia for a favor? And turn like a decorative gourd into a I don't know.
do you still have the way of contacting her, or did you give that back?
It's the mirror, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't on my person, but I think it was the hand mirror.
I have
somebody?
it. I also have sending. I'll send Hypatia a message and say, "Hola, Hypatia. We're looking to go to the ball, but we need wheels. Can you hook us up with something fabulous? Transmuted, possibly? Thank you."
Where are you all standing while Mama sends this message?
I'm gonna say near Mama.
Inside, outside?
Probably outside. Not sure about anyone else, but
In the camp area, probably
Okay.
sitting around like the campfire or something.
Lilani?
Is this the morning of the ball, the time before the ball, the day before, or what's going on?
Probably the day before. Just where are you while Mama's sending a message?
Alani is probably over there either doing Identify or dealing with that book.
Okay.
So she would probably be occupied at this time.
So you all hear a loud popping sound above you, followed by a crash, as you see Hypatia tumbling from the trees above. She says, "Well, you were inside last time."
yes. Do you always? Never mind.
So you want to dance?
Yes, there is going to be a dance, and we wish to make an entrance.
You know, I'm a very busy woman. I have more things to do. I have a king to raise. I have better things to do than whip up magical transportation for royalty.
We just wondered, since we couldn't think of anyone who would do a better job than you, if you don't have time, though, you could direct us to someone who might be able to do something, but nothing compared to what you could.
She pauses and starts to think. She says, "Well, do you have a gourd of some sort?"
I look in the bag. We could try and find one.
What about brioche?
I
That
was
we've
about
got.
to ask.
You have
Pull out like
brioche. Do you
Oh,
have popovers? Popovers.
yes.
Popovers are perfect. Now tell me, do you have any squirrels or rabbits?
We can certainly call them.
Call them, I'll deal with this.
Wonderful. I'll just kind of dump an assortment of bread out on the ground. Lalani, we need your help.
And for another thing, perhaps you need to take your teacher answer about what is it, darling?
Well, I was wondering if you could call some of your forest friends. Hypatia has graciously offered to show us some incredible magical skill and take us to the ball in style, but we need some rabbits and squirrels.
Okay.
Some volunteers. I think there might be some changing of shape going on.
Oh, so that is going to be for birthday. Oh, I think it's 6 to it. I have a 19 persuasion combined with the animal friendship thing that I've been using to speak with animals.
Roll me a percentile die.
God. Okay. God. 25.
That is how many critters come to you.
So you see, so let me go to the edge. Alrighty, all of my pretty darlings, we have another favor to ask. And, this is if you chitter, if you skitter, if you want to have a job, she's just going to, do we need any birds?
Because birds no, but deer make the best footmen.
Oh, okay. Do we want any stags, or do we want just like some does? Because I can probably talk to somebody that can go get a partner.
Oh, I trust you, darling.
Okay.
She starts sorting through bread.
And she's basically, Lani's doing the talking to people. So, you've got a job, you're going to get to go to a party, we're going to pay you, of course, up front, some bread, and then some acorns. And we can negotiate the deal. I will write it out over there, and we'll put your paw print on it. But we're going to need some. How many do we need?
Oh, well, at least 6 squirrels, my dear, and then, I suppose rabbit footman, a rabbit coachman, and then a deer to, drive the carriage. She goes, perfect, and holds a popover out, checks, goes, this would be so lovely with cream inside. Anyway, puts it on the ground. This is the bread, so this is the red, so now they must go to the ball. You see it start to just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it becomes glass and glows and grows wheels until it's a massive carriage. She kind of looks at it and goes, I really would rather it had custard. Anyway, about those footmen.
Lani has asked them all to line up very neatly, not in a row. She says, okay, so these are the fastest when it comes to running away, and these are very good at finding acorns. And she's just introducing everyone by name. And this is Chip, and this is, Dahlia, and this is where she goes to all the way.
And she looks and points her wand at each one and just says,
Yeah.
do you take your duties very, very seriously?
Go ahead or not. She's not going to hurt you. She's not like the mean one. She's going to do something. It's going to be a whole transformation, but I'll be here with you. And she's going to just try to be there to be reassured.
I don't have time for this. Zip, zap, zim! And then you see 6 of them transformed into horses. The squirrels, 2 rabbits turned into a footman and a coachman, and one very confused deer who has a carriage driver's outfit that still has horns on the hat. And as she does this, she has taken off into the air and is flying away. And you hear her go, enjoy the ball!
Thank you.
Did anybody ask her how long this lasts? Okay. Um. So I kind of came on to this in the please we need some animals phase of this whole thing. Um. I probably missed a little piece of what was happening, and that was to get this bread carriage. Um. Did we have like an agreement? Did anybody sign anything? Do we have a contract? Do we know when it's going to disappear?
Nope.
Great, wonderful.
I was rather distracted by the turning of the bread into a carriage.
Is that is very highly unusual and amazing. But last time I heard a story like this, there was like a time limit. Um, I know this very nice princess. She came by one time and she was telling me this story about some pumpkins and some footwear, and she kind of lost me at the footwear thing because I mean, can you imagine how many nasty feet that shoe was on before he brought it back, and then put it back on her foot, and she's like, "Yes, I will marry you." There is nothing in that story that says they cleaned it out.
You marry people because of their feet?
I'm assuming if she's putting glass shoes on, that she must have some amazing feet. Because everything is exposed. The bottoms, the tops, everything. So maybe he was into feet. I don't know. But I do know that she had a time limit.
I can send another sending to Hypatia and ask if there is a time limit. I'll just say, Hypatia, thank you so much for the beautiful carriage. I just wanted to be able to tell our animal friends when they will return to their true forms, if you know.
You get a message back that sounds a bit confused. Just has the carriage started to mold already? Is it stale?
No, nothing's molding. Everything is fine. Should we expect mold?
Oh no, you're fine then, dear. Enjoy. Have a great time.
So,
When
no
the
time.
carriage starts to mold, of the end your dance is told, and something else. Have a good time. Ta.
I will pass this information along that we need to be on the lookout for moldy bread carriage. And that is when we know time's almost up. Amazing.
Brilliant.
Someone is just going to blink a few times. Blink, blink, blink. I am going to start getting ready for bed so I can get my beauty rest. And this has been a lot today. And that's coming from me, who talks to animals and does all of this kind of thing. You know. And the animals are still around, I'm assuming, so she's also, passing out bits of bread as she walks along, pausing. You said what? You have so many babies. That's so nice. But she's really getting ready. Does anyone else want to face mask?
The squirrel horses are swishing their tails and stomping their feet. The rabbit footmen seem to be jumping up and down and looking kind of disappointed.
The timing of this may have, we can work that out later, because now they're going to have to spend the night in a form they're not used to being in.
The coachman, the carriage driver comes up to you and just goes,
Yes. I still have to speak with animals up. Okay.
So you understand that she's very confused.
So me too. I am so very confused as well.
She's kind of like stumbling, trying to walk on four legs.
Okay, so come this way. Come this way. Now sit down. And she looks over to Mama. We're going to have to get bed rolls for all of them so they can sleep. We're going to have to groom the horses. We have to do that. And I'm going to need some help because there are 6 of them, and I'm going to have to jump a lot. We're going to have to put them to go to sleep without attacking us because rabbits are some of the scariest and fiercest animals that actually exist. So,
And when you mention that, the horses look around and try and pick up bread in their hooves.
Oh.
And then just start kind of like whipping their heads.
I'll start picking up bread and
yours is
go for it.
yours is gonna help them eat the bread, hold it up for them, and groom them as well.
Okay.
It's just like it's only gonna be for a day or so. You'll be back to normal soon.
Irie will try to help by trying to make the bread taste like different foods she thinks they would like.
Okay.
With prestidigitation, because I can flavor stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a good reaction, we'll keep going, and if it's a not good reaction, then we will change tactics. But
They get really excited when you make it into like almond croissants and stuff.
ooh, all right, I'll stick with that. Like, I try the watermelon candy flavor, maybe, I don't
That did
know.
not go well.
Cool. Or Big Ben, awesome. Just gonna keep trying different flavors, because animal handling not my forte, but trying things out, sure.
Lord Silky, as soon as stuff started turning into other stuff, he went into hiding. Or made a good faith effort to hide, but he's albino white in a forest. You just see a tail sticking out of some bushes. He is.
Oh, I love him.
He's just long suffering sigh. And so yeah, he's over it. You know, if an albino alligator could look over it, he'd look completely over it. It's just too much going on.
Mama, what's going on with you?
Oh, I'm just rushing around camp, making sure everyone has something to eat and trying to, get everyone bundled down for bed, tucking in the rabbits, singing some little songs to try and calm everybody down. Feeling really guilty about getting too excited. Jumping the gun. But yeah, trying to make everyone as comfortable as I can.
Okay. And as you are doing that, you see Billy Blue and Big Ben come out, and they start to help you. And Big Ben just goes, I know a thing or two about being confused when you suddenly start to walk upright.
Thank you, Big Ben.
And Billy Blue shifts into his woven form and tries to kind of calm them down. Realize it's a terrible idea.
Oh, Billy.
He goes, I wasn't thinking. I thought that might calm the rabbits to see home folk, but it was a bad plan.
It's
Spill the
okay.
teeth, Billy. Spill the teeth, but it was sweet. It was sweet.
Yeah, that's a
Well, I just thought if they knew that, some of us go back and forth, they'd be all right.
wonderful idea. It comes from such a beautiful place. You are such a beautiful soul.
Dang it.
Um,
Thaddeus never lets me do the thinking. Just kinda-
Oh, no, that was an amazing thought. It was so good of a thought. Probably not the right time for it. But I like how you think.
Really?
I do. I think we all like how you think. Your instinct was to help, by to comfort.
He kind of pulls on his ear and goes,
Oh.
nobody's ever said that to me.
Oh, you precious one. Um, but until maybe they turn back into their own selves and can run away, we don't do the whoop thing, right? Because that may frighten them.
Alright,
Got it.
save it for the ball.
Yes, Goku, just let go. We'll brush out your fur. We'll make the thing. You'll be so beautiful.
That's how I do my best singing.
I am sure. Um, and this is in mid her getting ready for bed, so her hair is already in rollers
Mm-hmm.
with a little scarf on, and she's
Brushing
calm.
Lord Silky's teeth.
Lord Silky is still in the bush. She
Okay.
has to go talk him out of the bush because she has, and that's gonna take some time. Come on, it's okay. She's not going to turn you into anything. I promise you. I really promise you. Have I ever lied to you? That is not a lie. That is not fully divulging all of the information. Not a lie. Okay. Okay, fine. Be like that if you want to. But you still need to come to bed on time.
Ursa, what's going on with you?
Ursa's sitting cross-legged at the moment with her axe unsheathed, and she's just looking into it right now,
Okay.
trying to calm her thoughts with what might happen tomorrow.
Okay. Are you all setting up watch tonight or just going to sleep?
Since Ursa plans on staying awake a bit, probably planning on taking first watch.
I'm planning on being awake because
Because that's what you do.
actually now that we're level 9, it's even more fun for me because warlocks and invocations. So the invocation I decided to take was Devil's Own Sight, which means dark vision through regular and magical darkness up to 120 feet. So
Nice.
yep, I can see it. That doesn't mean I'll make sense of it, but I can see things. Maybe.
Nice.
I'm gonna stay awake.
Do Tritons have dark vision?
I kept thinking they did, but I couldn't find a reference that they did.
That's so weird. It seems like they would because they're so deep under the water. Huh. Okay.
And then I had it written down on my sheet as yes,
Mhm.
and then I revisited Bolo's guide and didn't see it. So I'm actually gonna double check now because we're talking about it.
Maybe they
that's
have
fine. I mean, you have
glowfish
it
lanterns
now.
or something. Maybe they have glowfish lanterns or something. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, we're all related to anglerfish. We just twinkle.
All right. So, you have first watch goes smoothly. Thinking thoughts with your axe.
Yep. Trying to come to an understanding of what's going to happen and what's not going to happen,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Second watch. Anybody who's up, give me a perception check, please.
Ooh. Mine didn't suck. Perception 24.
Okay. The air smells a little bit sweet.
Okay.
But that's all.
Who else is up for second watch?
Just you.
Me. Oh, okay, cool. I'm not unnerved by that at all. It'll be fun. I would try to place the sweet smell if I could recognize it. Like, does it smell like the creepy house? Or
It smells like the bread bag, but like closer.
can I go up and smell the carriage?
Yeah.
Ascertain if it's our popover carriage?
Yeah. Your popover carriage is starting to smell very sweet.
Awesome. I'm not sure Irie would know what mold actually looks like, but she would try to check for mold because she knows mold is bad. But if you don't know what you're looking for, it's pretty hard to find it.
You give me an investigation check.
Sure. Investigation 17.
I mean, it feels like glass, so it doesn't. You don't see any spots or anything out of the ordinary, other than a bread roll being turned into glass. But it just smells like powdered sugar.
Irie's gonna take a quick look to see that everybody's asleep,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's gonna lick the carriage to see if it tastes sweet.
Okay.
Cool.
It tastes like glass.
Okay, good deal. Just curious. Awesome. Oh, cool. Going back to watching things.
And the rest goes pretty uneventfully.
Great. I do some twirling in my cloak. He's like, no one's up. I'm gonna do some reading and then I'm gonna dance around like an idiot. It's gonna be great.
I think Lord Silky is awake. So he's witnessing it.
If she happens to notice he's awake, she would say good evening in mind, telepathy. That's what that's called. But yeah, I don't know if she'd notice it. Is he trying to be stealthy?
You know that thing that alligators do where they barely move because they're trying to be a log? He can roll a stealth check to see if he is being stealthy, but he's just laying beside Milani,
Good deal.
watching.
Have him roll a stealth check, knowing that
Okay.
he is bright white. So maybe it's disadvantage,
I don't.
unless
Whatever
he's wearing dark
happens,
jammies.
Yeah. She's more concerned with the I'm starting to get the hang of these legs things. Kinda cool.
What is stealth connected to? Dexterity?
Dexterity, yeah.
So he got a 12 with disadvantage.
Ari, what's your passive perception? It's 10, right?
It's passive perception is 10 plus your whiz mod, isn't it? Or 10 plus your perception. 10 plus your perception modifier, right?
Yep.
Then it's a 15.
Oh, sweet. Then I just totally underestimated you. Then yeah, you totally see him.
I've been rolling shite on perception most of the time, so it would appear that I had no modifier.
Yeah, you definitely see Lord Silky.
Just his eyes are open.
And she'll sort of freeze, but the dress keeps going for a second, and do a little bow,
He bows back.
and then continues about her evening. Good deal. Dungeons and Dragons, everybody. Okay.
And yeah, you dance until the sun rises. And Mama, being the oldest one here, is likely the first one to wake.
I want to do what I have to get it says light activity, so I'm not, stepping up. I'm not I'm not dancing so much that I don't get the benefits of a long rest.
You're just twirling.
Yeah, chillax for 8 hours. You don't have to sleep. So, cool. I don't want a level of exhaustion heading into a dance party.
Yeah.
No. Cool.
I'm definitely going to check the carriage out for mold, and if I don't see it, then I'm going to start covering it with blankets to try and wrap it as best I can to, keep the mold from getting in. Put a stick of celery in the bag. All the old wives.
Okay, so yeah, you get up and the carriage smells sweet. It doesn't have that rancid smell of mold, but it smells like sugar.
Well,
If there's rain, it might melt.
Yeah.
oh, well, let's hope it doesn't rain. I'm just gonna mix a simple breakfast just to keep everyone's energy up for the dancing later.
Dancing or, personal time?
You know, you use that energy however you want. I'm not going to judge you. Only Elmater can judge you.
All right. So, yeah, after a yummy breakfast, you are ready to hit the road. So are you going to go with the boys, or are you going to let them in the carriage, basically, or are you going to travel separately?
If the boys have their own transport, we could go together, but they'd be separate from the carriage. But if they don't have transport, I'd invite them in.
They were planning on walking.
Yeah, no, you're going to be exhausted by the time you're going to be singing and stuff like that. And no, there should be enough room for all of us. Maybe.
Irie will volunteer to sit up front with the driver, or like on top, if that's the kind of pop-over carriage we're dealing with. I don't need to take space up inside. Happy to Teen Wolf. Top. It's fine.
Look at a window.
That works for me. I can prestidigitation my way out of it. I'll be fine. Has no concept of keeping your hair nice. Lives in the
Yeah, you know what? We'll grab a couple of cushions, like tie ribbon around them and stuff, and like put them on top of the carriage, and we'll join Ari up there. So it looks like it was meant to be that way.
Ooh, I like it.
It's planned.
Alani is going to climb up to the top of the carriage where Uza and Ari are, and she's got these little scraps of fabric that are like scarves. She's going to say, now tie this on your head, tie this on your head, so that when you're going, it just won't get in your hair. Because you're so nice. She's just kind of
Amazing.
Headscarves. Okay, yep.
And wear a seatbelt.
Mama, I think we may not have any help with the seatbelt thing. We're riding in the carriage that was bread, and now it is like sugar glass. So,
Ari, do you know what a seatbelt is? Because I don't.
Does it keep your seat in place? Like a
Yeah,
belt
I thought with the ribbons and tying it to the carriage that was what we were doing.
for the seat? I don't know. I'm making most of this up.
and then Lauren is going
Don't
to
fall
climb
off.
back in the carriage. So excited to bundle up in my cloak and she's vibrating from the and she says, oh, I have not been to this ball in such a long time.
Thaddeus basically stands to help anyone in or up to the carriage who needs help.
Mm-hmm. The lion is going to take all of that help, even though it's a little bit more than a hands up. She's just like, okay, let's get into the carriage. And then Lord Silky is going to walk up next to Thaddeus and wait for some help.
Because do you want a boost, or do you want the whole lift and slide?
He puts two legs up in the carriage to stress his predicament.
All right, here's a boost, buddy.
Some scrambling goes on there. He makes it in.
And he kind of looks back at the boys and goes, just like my grandpappy used to do with our old dog. And kind of winks at you in the carriage.
Delani has a moment where she's like, what is a cat? It's a fox, it's a dog. I think it's wonderful to embrace such pet ownership.
It's awful kind of the two of you. He looks at Ersa and Ari. Was to let my boys ride in the carriage while you fine ladies ride up top. I know the gentlemanly thing to do would be for us to all hitch ride on back, but well, Ben and Brother Fold are both might big for riding on the back of anything, and this carriage might not pull unless the weight's properly distributed, if you know what I mean.
Irie looks genuinely confused, as always. But it's like people should ride in the place that is most comfortable for them. I'm fine up here. The view is.
It will be no problem, I assure you. And I believe it's best if we all arrive together.
Besides, with you all in the carriage, Lalani and I can help you with your looks. Like, we've been spending all morning on ours. However, we have some flowers, we have some ribbons. We can kind of, get a little uniformity going on, and take out a cloth and start polishing the shell of the tortoise.
And Brother Fall just goes, "What's wrong with the way I look, man?"
Oh, nothing, brother, nothing. But don't you want to elevate?
And he kind of does a slow smile. All right.
Ooh, Milani, this is going to be so fun.
He already has a small brush and a comb out.
So, with everyone situated, it is a fairly quick trip to the ball. It smells sweet inside the carriage, like more than it did outside. A bit oppressive, especially because there's no windows to open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
It's like when people have that Bed Bath and Beyond candy floss cotton candy smell and they skip the elevator with you.
Oh, I hate that shit. Irsa and Irie, give me an athletics or acrobatics check, please, to stay on top of this carriage.
I actually have athlete as a feat. Do I need to make this check? Or
Nope.
should I make the check to make sure that Aerie stays on?
You can make a check to help out Aerie.
Cool. I will make an athletics check because, wow, I took proficiency in it, so it's higher than my acrobatics now. Life's funny. So athletics, cool. Gonna try to stay on this thing. Ooh, that is not good. That's a 10.
24.
Okay,
That's more.
so Irie, how are you holding onto the carriage?
Not very well. She's sort of like, okay, I'm trying to. I should have Googled popover so I'd remember what this is. It's kind of like.
It's like a cream puff,
Oh, okay.
but without the cream inside yet.
So, like, we're on a pillow on top of something kind of roundish. So she is also very much enjoying watching things move. So she keeps, like, shifting, thinking she's keeping herself secure.
Okay.
But it doesn't always. She's trying. But there's a lot of, like, shifting to try and balance as we move.
So as you're shifting, your hand starts to like slide on the glass, and even though you're like pressing towards it, the like sweat from your hand starts to melt a bit of the sugar glass. But Irsa grabs you before you fall off or your hand sinks through the roof.
Thank you.
I imagine Yursa at this point kind of took a bit of precautions and has kind of probably taken off her shoes and like stowed them between her and Aerie and is just kind of like hugging Aerie from behind at this point.
Oh, we're like on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
But I should not be driving in that situation.
Aerie, on your right hand is basically, you know that kind of frosting that's on like glazed kind of fruitcake things? That is like what's on your hand right now.
I
Like the
I try to
clearish
stealthily
frosting
lick it.
thing.
because If it's icing, I'm interested. What is this? So,
All right, be careful because that might still be glass.
Give me a con save.
oh, good. This is my life. This is my life on D&D. I'm very practical in real life, I promise. Oh, that is worse than last time. That's a 6.
Okay. It tastes really sweet and nummy.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's still like grains of glass shards in it. So you take 4 piercing damage right on your tongue.
What? Blech.
And Yrsa is just like, spit it out, just spit it out.
Spits it out. Tries not to hit the glass and I'm guessing transparent carriage with blood spit. Endeavors not to do that. But yes, cool. -4. Good. I'm glad I took damage before we got there, folks. This is gonna go great. I'm good, but I'm delighted I got to try it.
You got to eat some of the carriage.
I got to eat some carriage. I mean,
Cinderella didn't do that.
wow. Okay. Yeah. Is gonna keep holding on and seeing that Yrsa is better balanced with her shoes off. Ira will also take her like shoes, slippers, whatever she wears on her feet is now off. And kind of takes a moment to like hold her toes up and look at them and think about that story about marrying people based on their shoes and how many people have tried them on. And is like very perplexed. Turns to Yrsa like, what makes a foot marriageable? I don't.
That's
Looks
not
like-
usually a quality that's that's not usually a quality talked about where I'm from. But I have heard that it's usually very specific people that consider feet when it comes to marriage.
Huh. I mean, we don't talk about it where I'm from either. It is just kind of thoughtful.
So, Mama and Lalani, you were not having much resistance from these dudes after, like, the initial... they seem pretty stoked about getting prettied up.
Yep, so Salani, that's all she's gonna be doing is waiting to get to the ball and helping people brush out their fur, polish their teeth. She's doing some special things to decorate Lord Silky so he looks fabulous as well. Got a whole look that's going to be revealed at the ball. But yeah.
After a little bit of time, you feel the carriage feel like it's being pulled. Those of you who are inside feel kind of rocked really hard. Yrsa and Irie, you see that you have approached the castle, and the horse squirrels are no longer working as a team. They have reached civilization and are freaking out, and they're all trying to run up trees. They're like reined in and hooked up to each other, but they're all trying to run in different directions. And the deer is kind of also trying to leap off of the carriage to bolt. So she is no longer helpful as a carriage guide.
Can I attempt to calm them down?
Please do.
What kind of check would you want?
Animal handling? Or if you can make a good argument for charisma.
Can I would love to assist, or I would love to make an argument for charisma, if so. But,
Yeah, how about we both work together with persuasion
Okay.
okay.
at this point?
You know, if it's persuasion, I just got better at that, and would be excited to try.
I would prefer to help you with that.
Okay.
You could probably persuade the deer. The horses are still like squirrel horses, and don't really understand common. But the deer understands common now, being in human form, even though she still struggles to talk.
Cool. Well then, I would like to persuade the deer that is humanish. Does it still have the antlers?
And the antlers appear to be they look like they're part of her hat.
Cool.
But yes, she does have antlers.
I so dig it. I would like to persuade the dear coach driver. It's only a little farther, but if we need to stop, we can, as long as we stop calmly. You've done such a wonderful job.
Okay, roll me with advantage since Ursa is helping. Ursa, how are you helping?
I'm helping by just kind of making soothing noises
Okay.
at this point, and just like shh, ma, calm down. Nothing's going to hurt you. Shh.
Okay.
I'll continue on that, like, she's this deer has risen to the occasion and done so much more than what was ever asked of them or expected. They are a hero amongst deer kind. Like, yes. So, oh my. That would be. Wait a second. I have a new modifier change, so I have to double check. 32.
Holy shit. Okay. So, the coach will kind of. You see her, like, square her shoulders and hold the reins tighter, and she looks back at you and she goes, like, ah, and nods her head and, like, yanks tight on those reins. And those horse squirrels immediately get in a line and start trotting.
It really is doing a wonderful job.
Like,
Right on.
you see, like, confidence just emanating from her. Her whole posture has changed.
Yes, I love it. I love it so much. Irie thinks this is normal, but I love it.
And Lilani and Mama and all the guys in the carriage who had just felt like kind of tossed and turned. Now it's a smoother ride than it has been this whole time.
Just hit a speed bump. Nothing to worry about. We didn't almost end up getting our carriage stuck up a tree.
She's really doing a great job, isn't she?
And after a very short period of time, she pulls up and you hear her go like, and all of the horse squirrels stop and they do this little like prancy dance in unison, and the footman rabbits come out and hop down and open the door. And you see that you have arrived at a magnificent castle that appears to be made out of glass.
An entire castle made out of glass. Not mirrored glass, but just glass.
Just glass.
Okay. Gonna take out the compass just in case and see, just take a look at it, see if it's still pointing.
It is pointing right inside.
That's what I was afraid of. And gets on her shoes in anticipation of getting down off the carriage.
Irie's gonna put on her shoes as well, get ready to climb down, and gives the deer a congratulatory, like, good on ya, sort of pat on the way out, like.
She's like, "Wah." And the footmen try and hop up to help the two of you down from the top of the carriage. They seem really dismayed that they can't jump up that high, but they're trying to help.
Ursa will just kind of like slide off the side where they are and like have them help as soon as she meets them on the way down.
Okay. And they do help Lilani and Mama out of the carriage. And you see that you are far from the only people to arrive. You see some other elegantly dressed ladies, one in what appears to be a glass gourd carriage of some sort. Another one who appears to be coming in by bubble or something. It's hard to tell, but there's a lot of people in round things coming here. So you have arrived at the bubble. And there's a grand staircase in front of you. You see soldiers, guards in like big fluffy hats kind of lined up. And you notice that the minstrels are kind of hanging back.
I'm just going to address them and say, boys, we were invited here. We all look amazing. Now, chins up, shoulders back. Let's go.
And
You
Billy Blue goes, in their servants' quarters or something, they want us to go to a back entrance.
No, no. So, you are with us, and you shall be coming with us to the front door because you are both friends and family.
Yeah, okay.
You are
If
in.
anyone has a problem with it, we'll just tell Yursa, and she'll show them her giant axe. It'll be fine.
It would be my pleasure. And then she's going to look up at Aerie and go, do you want the footman to help you down? Or I could catch you.
Really? She's so into that idea. So, yeah, once the shoes are on and everything seems secure, she'll sort of, I don't know, slide, hop down. If you're down to catch her, absolutely.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Cool. Let's do this.
Let's do the princess style catch, and then she'll just kind of like set you on your feet.
And Thaddeus just goes, dang, that was elegant. Missed my moment.
Excellent. Well, shall we?
Mommy is so excited. So I have the cloak on and her dress and everything. And Lord Silking does not need a cape, but he has a cape draped over him. Like, from his Irish's back, there's like a sheet that has been carefully draped as they walk along. And she says, you know, I've never been to a ball in this region before, but I hear that they're really big on, you know, who you are and how you dress. But if you see anybody with glass slippers, I am totally going to ask them how in the world does that work. Just how do you dance in a glass slipper? I mean, really.
So as you are waiting to walk up the stairs, you are passed by several beautiful women with handsome escorts, some male, some female, dark-skinned women in blue, light-skinned women with like long curly blonde hair, one in a dress that seems to be flashing between two colors. And you see as they approach, each of them appears to be announced.
Who is doing the announcing? Can we see that?
You see, yes, what appears to be a very small Kenku with a white wig.
Adorable. Shall we go let them know who we are?
Yes, let's.
Alright, we'll go up to the Kenku to be announced.
Names?
Queen Ursa Vasilisa of Ice and Snow.
Escort?
And she'll turn to... You know what? She'll turn to Aerie.
Cool. Why not? I will make eye contact, know what a social cue is, because she's been to court. She hasn't been to land, but she's been to court. So she'll step forward and said, Iriella Atlantiana, daughter of Tritonia, princess of the Seven Seas, and heiress to the Shimmering Reeds.
And the Kenku kind of seems to be processing, and then jumps up on a table. Queen Ursa Vasilisa of the... Sorry, what was that? That is Jess, because y'all just gave me a lot of names. But he basically announces the two of you in your own voices.
Queen of Ice and Snow.
Queen of Ice and Snow, accompanied by Princess Ariella, all of that. It would have been really impressive if I got it, but I am not a Kenku.
No, it's a lot.
And a spotlight comes on you, and you see that there's stained glass in this room, and the floor appears to be marble, but like pink marble. And there's music playing, and couples dancing, and a string orchestra in the corner, and you also see an empty spot next to them. That is clearly for like a band of some sort.
We'll offer her arm to Aerie.
Absolutely.
And step forward. At this point, should we describe our dresses?
Please do.
All right. So, this dress, I imagine we were using the very, very pale lilac, shimmering fabric, which did have a little bit of what looked to be fur along the edges, so along her shoulders. So it's off the shoulder, but it's along there, and it's got little twinkly bits that look like they could be ice, it could be diamond, in little snowflake patterns going down the front and to the side.
Cool. Is my turn yet?
Beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
Irie, what
And, like-
are you wearing?
She's gonna let you step forward and have the spotlight before also stepping forward. Like, you get your moment, because that's a moment. It is a fashion moment. Irie is still wearing, but in a more like casual, I don't know, cloak-like repose, the robe of stars, but it unfolds toward the front, so you can see her full gown. It's very drapey. It's got a very full skirt, and it's the one made from the fabric that looked like shimmering water, and it kind of looks the way, in places, it looks like the way sunlight glinting on small ripples shows, but as you get to the fullness of the skirt, it's much more like the way water or light looks as it filters through waves underneath, so it becomes subtler and more flowing. And you don't notice a lot of ornamentation. There's mostly the movement of it and the light glinting off of it.
Oh, I love that. As you get in, you see a lot of people stop and look at you as you walk. Several people bow or nod. And you see several people you know. You see another princess in a yellow dress who's there with what might be an awakened bear. It's hard to tell. He's in a suit. And the Kenku kind of looks at Lilani and Mama and says, "Next, names and escort."
I'll go. I'll announce myself as Socorro Mariela Isabella Enriqueta, and I'll kind of pull Brother Fold over as my escort.
And he just goes, "Brother Fold." And the Kenku stands up and goes, "Princess Socorro Mariela Isabella and Brother Fold." And what are you wearing?
I am wearing on the top, it is like woven, like a huipil, so kind of the beautiful woven cotton tunic, but it's cinched to the waist with a kind of a brown kind of short, like almost a corset look, and then the bottom is just a tulle skirt that is massive. It's huge. It is not age appropriate, and she does not care.
I love it.
There's a bunch of different colors, and then the top is white with the different colored embroidery, and she'll just walk in with Brother Fold and do a curtsy.
And at first, Brother Fold seems kind of anxious. You can tell with his like massive paw in your hands. But as he sees people kind of like nodding and bowing at the two of you, you feel him stand a little bit straighter. And he gives you a little twirl to really show off the tulle of your skirt.
It just like poof goes everywhere.
I love
There are
this.
multiple layers. It's a big cupcake.
And the Kenku kind of hops down, adjusts his wig, and looks at Lilani and goes, "Name and escort?"
Oh, hello, darling. Okay, now listen up. I am Princess Galani Savor, active ranger on deployment for the Society of Rescue and Aid, heiress to the Swamp of Hollow Hungers, and lady of the House of Count Bernardo.
Escort?
Oh, this is Lord Silky, also of the House of Count Bernardo, and this is Thaddeus, because I'm so small, I'm twice as small as everyone else, so I need twice as many escorts.
And he hops up and goes, "Princess Ladani Savor, Countess of House Bernardo," and kind of looks at you with a cocked head. Goes, "Escorted by Lord Silky and Thaddeus O'Miller."
That's a good job. You are wonderful at your job.
And Thaddeus kind of extends his arm to you and goes, "Shall we?"
She's going to step on top of Lord Silky so that she's a little bit higher and he's used to carrying her, and then reach up to hook her arm over Thaddeus.
And Thaddeus kind of hunches down to you and goes, "You know, I can be shorter if that would make things easier for you."
Absolutely not. I want people to see me and go, "Oh, look at that little beautiful gnome and her handsome escort."
All right, whatever you want. It's your night. And with his like shocking red tabaxi fur, he leads you in as Lord Silky smoothly glides into the room. And what are you wearing?
So, perfectly fitted to her petite form, she has an elegant yet functional thick and flare gown, made with white leather and soft silky skirts and has like shimmer with a little bit of lavender. Her top is kind of corset-like, fitted to her form for the protection and support that she's a ranger, you know. And a full skirt that barely brushes the ground with two shades of material, that lavender and white. And she's got petite, shiny boots with little heels in the same color. Around her shoulders, she has a lavender shawl, strands of pearls on her neck and wrist, and Lord Silky has a matching bow tie that's lavender and gold, and then he has some bedazzling of the ridges over his eyes. And it just goes down in these patterns, so he's looking completely fabulous as well. And she has a ring that she doesn't normally wear, and it's a little ring that she's put on that has a pretty significant looking little gem on it. And she looks down at it and is wistful for a moment, and then straightens back up, and is ready to go.
Sorry, I lost that last part. What was the very end? You were
She's got a
describing
ring that has a pretty gem on it, and she takes a moment to look down at the ring, looks a little wistful, and then, continues on the way.
And when you walk in, folk are kind of doing a double take at you because they're like, is that an alligator? Is that a crocodile? And then some of the others like, oh my goodness, she's so fashionable. And a couple of people faint when they see you pass, and others just kind of flutter their fans rapidly. And Thaddeus like, enjoy it. Well, Silky, let's give this one a twirl.
And she's going to give me a moment. I need to group up with my ladies and see what the plan is going to be. And then, of course, we're going to hit the dance floor. And she's going to try to skirt right over to Gary, Mama, Ursa, and everyone. Everyone looks so beautiful. She's just not crying because she doesn't want to mess up her makeup. But she's so beautiful, everybody. She looks so good. We had a ball and we're not fighting a dragon or dealing with a horrible fey woman. It's just wonderful.
And as you group up, the next thing you hear is Big Ben and Billy Blue. And you see the two of them kind of just walk out awkwardly and look around and just make a beeline for Thaddeus and that open stage area and start setting up. At which point Brother Fold kind of looks at Mama and goes, this go there.
All right. I'll meet you there later. Thank you for the twirl.
Anytime. And the music is playing. You see several other princesses you know. They look fabulous. And then you hear the Kenku say, make way for Lady Histina and the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly everyone stands at attention. The trumpets sound like doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. And the Queen walks out. And only Mama and Irie had seen her before, right? So you see this yellow tabaxi wearing a massively too large for her red ermine trimmed robe and a crown that is so big it's like cocked on one side and sinking, walking with her hand up, kind of being escorted by a Yuan-ti who is wearing what appears to be a snakeskin gold dress, skin tight, and a peacock feather fascinator, walking to the front. And she kind of looks and nods at everyone. Thank you. Hoot lally. Before sitting in the center back on a large throne with a small chair next to it that Lady Histina sits in.
Irie will lean over to Yrsa at this. We're like we're in that group like at prom where like everybody goes to get there, right? But we'll lean over to Yrsa and anybody who's really close. Like, who do you think that crown was made for?
If, according to the rumors, the older sister.
Do we know where that sister is?
At war, supposedly. Possibly dead, but considering there's no confirmation, it's most likely propaganda.
While this conversation keeps going, Irie's going to do her best to sort of look light and effervescent while discussing extremely heavy things. Like, it's a party. We're not talking about revolution.
Yeah, it's like your side, I think, is kind of guiding Aerie towards where the refreshments are.
Yes! Actually, yes, queen! But yeah. So she's pulling a bubbly front so it looks like she's talking about lighter things.
I think perhaps, though, we might save that candy for, I don't know, the queen or the advisor, your choice.
Ooh. It's harder to get an advisor to tell the truth if they don't want to, but depends what they know. I'd be interested in what the others think. I'd be very interested in knowing the whereabouts of that sister. Is that Punch? I've heard of Punch.
You see pink, fizzy punch
Even better than I could have imagined.
in a large cut crystal bowl.
Cool.
And as you approach it, a pixie flies by and just goes blue and flies off, and the punch becomes blue.
Well, I quite like this color, so I don't mind.
Well, she'll get her a glass of punch, sure. And like, where are the others right now? So
I'm looking at the snack table just like, oh yeah. It's about to happen. I got a little plate, and I want to try all kinds of things.
Yeah, this is like a feast. Pretty much anything you want to eat is here, and it is yummy. They spared no expense. Where is Lilani during all of this?
Have people started dancing yet?
Yes, they are.
Yep, it's on the dance floor. Does Lord Silky has found his place to park, and stay out of the way to keep a watchful eye. Probably looks super, casual, like he's just going to the side, but it's trained behavior. He's keeping an eye out while she goes to go. Tiny little gnome walking running to the dance floor. Twirl, hit a princess twirl.
Yes. And you have wonderful dance partners. describing his gown to the wall. Sorry. Yeah, the musicians are pretty busy setting up, but each one of them said they would save a dance with you, so whoever you want to dance with, you can convince to come down from the bandstand, or if you want to dance with any of the gathered princes or princesses, or royal folk who are non-binary, you can do that. Pretty much you made quite an entrance, so you have your pick of the ball.
She's really doing what she can to see what whispers or gossip or things she can pick up as she's dancing with all these different strangers and twirling around and getting a vibe of, is this a special event? Are people nervous? What's going on? Do people want to be here? Is it, she's just socializing in the way that a person that does investigations all the time does.
Yeah. I guess give me, it seems like a perception. I will give you your choice between perception, investigation, or persuasion, however you want to get, or deception, however you want to get this information from people, whether you're like passively listening to things, probing people, or having like small talk to get info from people. Or you can roll me one of each, and we can see how you gather various types of information.
Okay, but now we'll do 2. So I have a 16 plus 7 for the investigation. Okay. 6 plus and a 12 for the was it perception or persuasion?
Either.
So for persuasion, it's a 12 as she handles the investigation of a 16 plus 7.
That's 23?
Yep.
Okay, so investigation, where you're like kind of eavesdropping on people and trying to listen, you hear more than you can get people to talk to you about, which makes sense. They're a little intimidated by you. And you're a stranger. You're so fashionable, and you came with a crocodile. Or albino alligator. So, what you hear from a couple of feuding sisters is that, they're no stranger to not liking a sister. But they wouldn't go to what Joan did to get rid of one.
Mm-hmm.
You hear from a handsome brown-skinned man talking to a brown-skinned woman in blue. She has long, thick black hair. That he's heard from his spies down in the prisons that there's someone who seems to be treated far better than they would expect someone in the darkest cells to be, or at least better than he ever was in her father's prison.
Okay.
And then kind of while you are dancing with people, are you more likely to dance with a prince, a princess, a servant, musician? What kind of person are you most likely to go for?
She would not be whoever looks the most interested in dancing. She's gonna be super friendly. Would you like to dance? Come on, darling, and spinning and twirling and
Okay.
jumping.
So, you see a lighter brown skinned man with curly hair and a ukulele who keeps trying to get the band to let him play, basically. Who, as soon as he sees that you are interested in dancing, is like, yeah, I'll take you for a twirl, kind of thing. And he kind of tells you that he's new here, and I can't tell if Honey is frozen. No, just that disappointed. And that he's like not from here either, and asks if it's customary to invite all of the Fae folk, or if you typically exclude people. Because where he's from, they're all invited.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And what was his name?
What was his name? How about I should have come up with a name for him already. His name is, all I can think of is Naveen right now.
Oh,
His name is Navris
no.
Sarcine. Yeah, or his name could be Sarcine.
Okay, so I don't really know how they do it here because I am from a different place. I think it's rude to like exclude people if you have family that is Fae. Then you invite the Fae people, but if you don't have family that is Fae, no, I don't know. You look like a talented musician.
Well,
I'm not
yes,
a
I'm
fan.
the best musician.
I think
You want to hear me play?
Not really. I would like.
I will play anyway. You'll get
Okay.
used to it.
Alright. We're dancing. Now you're playing ukulele and there's already challenges here because of the heights thing. So maybe we save ukulele.
He starts to kind of dance at you while playing.
Okay. So I am just going to she is going to say, okay, wait. I can't follow along, and she's going to try to step on his feet and hold on to his waist. Okay, there we go. Let's try again.
He looks kind of confused because now he can't play his ukulele.
Yep.
And then just
Don't make those foot moves again. You were doing such a good job.
I'll put my arms around you, I suppose.
There we go. Lord Soki does not look happy, but he's.
So, Irsa, give me a perception check.
Oh, good. $17.
Okay. You notice that Queen Joan's crown has a lot of diamonds in it, but one seems different than the others.
Oh no.
Like it's cut the same, but it doesn't shine in quite the same way.
It doesn't, huh? Gonna take that little compass out of my purse and see where it points.
Yeah, it points right at her.
Oh, well. This could be a problem.
And as soon as you pull that out, a darker skinned woman kind of leans over you at you and goes, Henry, what? And goes, does that show you what you're looking for?
Oh no, it's a compass that's broken. I check it every once in a while and puts it back in her purse.
I had one. My raccoon took it.
Oh.
I gets herself some punch. Just goes,
Can I tell if she believed my bald-faced lie right there?
Roll me an insight check.
head?
She seemed to.
Okay. Well, I was fairly certain this only pointed to one specific thing, but maybe I'm wrong.
If it seems awkward or like people aren't enjoying the conversation, Irie will endeavor to insert herself here. But Irie's better in these situations than Margaret might be. Just gonna read it and be like, would a diversion be helpful right now? And is trying to...
I like to imagine that that's how Irene walks into conversations.
Would a diversion be helpful? Frankly, she and I have that in common, but yeah. So if it seems like it's getting tough, she's gonna lean over and to this woman who's not yet introduced herself, and be like, "A compass that points to whatever you want sounds amazing."
I know it was a gift, but it didn't really work anyway.
Oh, well, were you sure what it was that you wanted?
Because it was mostly no.
Well, if you don't know where you're going, it's pretty easy to get anywhere.
I'll
Iriella.
drink to that.
And she'll raise a glass of whatever color the punch is now and drink
Purple.
it. Clink. Yes. Clink. Drink. And what is a raccoon? And is just going to engage.
It's like if a cat were a thief.
Ooh, I like that. Sounds challenging if you tried to control it, but like a great friend.
It's a wonderful friend.
I like that in a friend. Yeah. Carry on. Cool. Irie's gonna have another drink and sort of watch the group. She's curious if Histina is moving around, like if she's dancing or anything.
Histina is sitting right next to the queen. But if you look at her closely, you can see that her eyes are kind of just tracking back and forth.
She's like head on a swivel, like eyes on a swivel. Okay, cool. Lovely to meet you. And is going to graciously away from the person and take Yrsa's arm and kind of move to the side. Just be like, I think Histina's casing the crowd, unless I'm very much mistaken. And I don't think that I am.
We have another problem.
Oh?
One of the jewels in the crown over there is like my axe.
In what way is it like your axe?
It's made out of the same thing.
Huh. Looks at the crown, guessing doesn't really detect a difference, but cool. So the goal for you would be what?
Well, at some point during this evening, my axe has to connect with that crown.
Huh. Would you like to dance?
I would love to.
Excellent! Keep talking about it.
I also promised Brother Bear a dance as well, and I have a feeling we might want to do some other things before I try and take care of that.
I wonder what the others have found out. I'm very curious about the position of this other princess who is perhaps the older in this one.
So, three of you are dancing. What is
Milani
going
is
on
trying
with
to find
Mama? Are you still dancing as well?
Yes, Lalani and I are kicking up our heels around the dance floor. And I think, probably I'd pick up on her trying to look for information and also try and scope out a little bit of the gossip, because I love me some gossip.
Okay.
And yeah, just seeing who's here and what's the situation.
So, are you gonna try and like investigate the same way Lalani was, or are you just catching up on the stuff that she heard as well?
Catching up with Lonnie and then doing an eavesdrop round of the room
Okay.
as well.
Give me a perception check then.
Ooh, 12.
Okay. So you hear a couple people talking about how odd it is to have so many princesses in one place. And how there's not that many royal get-togethers of this quantity. And it's particularly weird that someone as much of a like nobody like Queen Joan could get this many people together. So a lot of people are like, why are we really here? I mean, it's great to see you, like it's a nice reunion, but also like, what's going on?
Well, since we had the invitation from Queen Joan, I'm going to ask if Lalani would like to go greet her. Maybe we'll gather the other two as well, the other gals, and go greet Queen Joan and see if we can't glean some info from her directly. How does that sound, Lalani? All right. As much as I hate to scoop your son Irie off the dance floor, I will go do that.
Oh, it's graceful as heck. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So the four of you walk up, and a guard basically just hems.
Mhm.
As you approach the throne.
We're here to give our regards.
Lady Histina leans forward and just goes, "It's customary to bow to a queen in her court."
Immediately graciously bows. I didn't. Are they
The-
on a dais
Mhm.
or like I didn't know when? My apologies and bows.
does a small bow, because even though this is in her court, Yrsa is still a queen.
Mm-hmm.
Lalani is hidden partially by Mama's skirts, but she does curtsy
Okay.
and lift her head from behind the skirt.
And by the way, even though she's bowing, she's not taking her eyes off of them.
Okay. And Mama?
Oh yeah, big curtsy, skirts all up in there, just like floop.
It's a happy image.
And Queen Joan kind of looks, like leans forward, and you see the crown shift way too far in her head. And she looks at Mama and Irie. She goes, You were supposed to bring the spicy music. And you were repairing my ring. Do you have it?
I do. I've been working on it. It's not cleaned yet. If you want it back while it's still dirty, I could give it back. I really thought it would be easier, but the detail work is so fine.
And she looks kind of disinterested when you mention detail work. Lady Histina just kind of whispers in her and goes, "Sounds like thievery, my queen."
I will choose to visibly ignore what her servant is telling her and wait for the queen to respond.
Well, it is my signet ring. Justina hasn't been able to sign a single document without it. I would appreciate it. We're missing the royal seal, you know.
Oh, I hadn't realized this was the only one. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I never would have imposed so.
Well, it's not the only one, but it's mine. It's special.
Chokes back a feeling and says, well, then it's the only one that matters.
I like you. I do.
And I very much like your company. And reticently will produce the ring, which is pretty schmutzy, like just from being straight up grungy, but is not damaged, and the mark that I prestidigitated onto it is gone now.
The queen takes it and just goes, Justina, this is peasant filth on it. Please see to this and do what you need to do. And Justina kind of gives you a dirty look before slipping it on her finger.
Oh, I've never made a curse spell more. Oh.
Yrsa's looking at the crown and wants to do an insight check to see if Joan is being affected in some way.
Okay.
Or, yeah. Because I know how dangerous those things are. It's an 8. Wait, no. 11.
Okay. So, it's hard to tell. She definitely seems attached to the crown. But it's unclear if it's just because it's shiny or because she feels she's earned it or what, you know?
Yeah, no, gonna go in later with a plan. But yeah, we'll want to talk to Aerie about possibly using Vicious Mockery later.
Kill a bird.
It did kill a bird. All I want is something that will hurt her to see how she reacts.
Let's see. And so what is going on with Lilani? You were still hiding behind Mama.
I peeked out. I peeked my head out to wave from behind her skirt.
Okay. And the queen kind of looks at Yrsa and Lilani and goes, I don't know you two. Welcome.
Hello, Your Highness. I am Princess Lilani Savor.
Queen Joan.
Yes, I heard such wonderful things about you, but nobody told me you are as beautiful as you were.
She kind of purrs.
Yes, I mean, how do you get your fur to look so luscious?
Routine tongue baths.
I see. Yep. Okay. I'm very glad to have met you, and this is a wonderful soiree you have thrown here.
Yes, I love getting all my little friends together in one place.
Is it common that you have all of these parties like this very often? Is it like a thing that you do regularly for you people, or just feeling like it?
Before I took the crown, we very rarely had parties. This was more of a warring kingdom. Now, it's going to be a lot more fun. All of the best people, you know.
You know, I know exactly what you're talking about. You see, my husband, he has this sister who is very, how do you say, she's very strict. She doesn't like to have fun at all.
It's terrible.
And so I was like, oh my goodness, sister-in-law, I should take over your whole villa and take care of this old stuff so that we can have fun, you know? And I've been working on that, and it's been a whole thing.
Well, good for you for bringing some culture to your sister-in-law.
Do you have any advice? Like, if you had a sister and you really wanted to get through to her that they need to have something fun, you know, any tips for a princess? So I know what to do when I'm a queen.
Oh, I love giving advice. I would say and she kind of goes blank for a moment. So to introduce fun to your sister, first you must try and throw a party, and if she doesn't attend or cancels the party, then I suppose you must see if things would be better off without her around. Sometimes the sister's the problem, if you know what I mean. Try and cater to her interests, and then your interests can follow in her absence.
That sounds like very well thought out advice. And I really appreciate that feedback that you have given me and graced me with your presence. And if I ever become queen, I will definitely make sure you get an invitation to my coronation ball and everything.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Can I do ask you a question? It's just a small question, and I really don't want you to get offended, but it's because I'm a fashionista, kind of. Is it a requirement to have a crown bigger than your head so that people know that it's powerful? Or is it just in the process of getting adjusted? I just wanted to make sure I get the right size crown.
That she kind of puts her paws to the crown and straightens it and then looks at Histina very darkly. Goes, some people didn't have time for fitting.
Well, my goodness, you are much more lenient than where I come from, because where I come from, you tell them make it fit, and they don't make it fit, and they have no more job. So you are so kind and benevolent.
She kind of looks back and forth like she's never even considered that. And you see Lady Histina like fuming at this point.
Well, thank you so much for this chance. We just really wanting to come up and meet you. Mama was like, you've got to meet the queen. And I was like, okay, let's go meet her. And now I have met you, and I have learned a lot. So much. And I am going to go get some appetizers and enjoy the rest of the party. So, keep on being fabulous.
Do have a good time. She kind of pats the crown again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And she's going to turn and walk away. But her walking away is just disappearing behind Mama's skirt. Really.
I'm just gonna be the shield. Wherever Lilani wants to go, I'll just shield her with my massive skirts.
I would. It seems like everybody's leaving, and with no more words necessarily, oh, Your Highness bows and deferentially walks away. Ugh.
She kind of gives you a little wave.
You're just going to incline her head because hasn't been introduced and hasn't introduced herself.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, I am Yrsa, Queen of Ice and Snow.
Well, I'm Joan, Queen of Angleterre. Must be nice to be queen of type of weather.
It's more the land is broad, and there are many small kingdoms in it.
Well, does your kingdom vanish in the summer? No.
There is no summer in my land.
Oh, how unfortunate. I do love to go to the seashore.
I think I have taken your measure. And then just inclines her head and turns and walks away.
Living for all of
Everybody give me a perception check, please.
Hopefully. 13.
19.
24.
Okay.
Did just 12.
Okay. That's okay. This was a fairly easy one. You all see one of the torches that's lighting the hall change to kind of a sickly green. And the flame starts to get larger and larger and larger near the back of the hall.
I think it'd be best to find a defensive position.
I think we're about to have distraction. I believe somebody said there might be someone in a cell that we might free.
I remember how we invited a
Mhm.
friend of ours.
We invited Karabas.
Yes. Milanese is gonna be. I know this has to be Carabas with all of the extra. Okay. And she has a goblet, like a glass. Just take a sip.
And sure enough, Carabas, but now wearing like black, beaded, glittery, low cut, bodycon, mermaid cut, long, splayed out train dress with massive horns appears out of the flame, accompanied by 5 small dragons. She looks around. Oh, how sweet. All the little popular girls. Kind of cocks her head. And a pretender on the throne who didn't even bother to invite me. That's bad form. She spots the 4 of you. Thank you for the invitation. Though I confess I was planning on attending anyway. No slight is beyond my notice.
Oh, good to see you. Do you want me to watch the babies with Lord Silky while you handle your business?
They've been training with me. But if you promise not to get in my way, Lord Silky can watch them.
Lord Silky, long suffering sigh. But do I want to do this without too good? Okay. Yep, we'll do that. Lord Silky will watch your babies. And I'm assuming that you've got this. You don't need our help because you're all like powerful. I mean, that's V. That's a very deep V right there. Power
in
move.
this room, except for the 4 of you, are dozens of people who've slighted me. That idiot on the throne the most. How convenient that you're all collected here. What idiot would have this many royals in one room? And what foolish, foolish girls would give so many dragons to one person and let her form a veritable army? I think we only need one queen. Don't you?
Okay, do you mean like regionally or like period? Because to be honest, I think there's a lot of conversation that needs to happen about having like a single person in charge of everything, because that's less of a queen and more of someone endeavoring to be a goddess.
I think Yrsa at this point is going to look at the dragons that we all know
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of look at Princess Sparkles like, are you really going to hurt me? And see what the reaction is.
It kind of looks at Princess Sparkles. He looks at you, and then looks at Caraboss, and then kind of hides behind the green baby dragon.
I'm going to use speak with animals. And
Well, they all speak Draconic.
And I do too.
Okay.
Um,
If you didn't want to use the spell slot.
yep, I just thought about that after I clicked it.
Okay.
So, cool bean.
Take it right back.
Yep. And she's going to say, oh, my little babies, look at you, so big and strong. Did you want some snacks?
And you hear Princess Sparkles going, "We're on a mission."
Well, sometimes when you're on a mission, you have to let the mission leader handle their mission business, and then you can have snacks.
After we do the war, then we get snacks.
Okay, this woman has trained you for a war. That's what I am hearing. We did with all these precious babies and she's making the child army out of baby dragons. Is that what I'm hearing? Mama, is this what I'm hearing? Because she switches out
not
into
hearing-
draconic.
I'm not hearing anything about conservatorship of the species. I'm not hearing anything about a conservation plan. I'm hearing baby soldiers, and I don't like what I'm hearing.
At one point, she looks at the prince, asking, whatever. Princess, hold my purse. Just hold my purse. She starts to take off her earring.
Yours is just like, tell Princess Sparkles and the rest of them that if they participate in this war, none of them are going to be flying with Auntie Ursa.
Okay. So, just to balance the stakes here, babies, if you participate in this war, you will not get the snacks, because I have whole cows. You will not get to fly with Auntie Ursa.
No fair.
Mama will not sing you a pretty song. And Eri will not make pretty stuff in the air and tentacle stuff.
Caraboss kind of looks at you and just goes, "Silence! I know what you're trying to do."
Which you don't know me. Okay.
You shouldn't try to be bringing children into a war.
So, I'm just training them the way only a mother could. And with that,
The pitch level. There is something I'd like to do while this is happening. I kind of want to scan the crowd.
Mhm.
Anybody in the crowd is looking fight ready. Like, who's fight and who's flight?
Well, first, when she says that,
Yeah.
She raises out her hand, and you see lightning emanate from her hand directly at Queen Joan, and then springs to Lady Hestina, and then springs to one of the guards standing by them.
Guard's not cool, though.
And then another one springs to the Kenku, who announced you.
Well,
And everyone but the Kenku immediately, actually no, the Kenku too, they all fall to the ground and start just kind of crackling. But the Kenku just goes, I'm okay. Carabas looks at you and goes, you were saying?
I was saying so many things because I'm having
Yeah, you're
fun
just
with-
gonna draw her axe and step in front of Carabas. That's the one that slighted you the most. She was an imposter. That's enough.
Irie, what were you gonna do?
Oh, I wanted to make sure to scan the room because it's full of princess level humans, or creatures, beings, folks. And I would like to know if anybody else looks like they're getting ready to fight. Like, is anybody else seeing Wigbird get hurt and getting pissed? Like, who else is end my axing right now?
Yeah, you see the dark-skinned couple who had mentioned, like, talking about being in the prison seem like they're getting ready to go. The girl who had talked about the compass with Irsa seems to be, like, pulling an axe of some sort out of a, why am I blanking on the word? It's where you keep a flask. Garter! Pulling an axe out of her garter. And you also see a redhead in the corner just go, finally! And rips open her sleeves, and you see a bow come out from her back.
Okay, cool. Just trying to gauge who's terrified and going to be a problem and who's going to be an asset. So yeah, so we might not be in this all alone. Whew. Mage armor's still up, by the way. Like, just, it always is.
Just in case.
Yeah. For realsies. Okay. I think that's all I've got right now. Yeah.
Lilani had something too, right?
Yes. But I want to see what else happens because Rolani has already taken off her earrings and put them in her purse. She just took over the earrings, put them in her purse, and she's going to. Her skirt is removable. The skirt that she has as part of her dress. The reason why the top was a leather top and so on. And she's going to remove the skirt part, and she touches her chest and says, "Fabulous!" And you see that she had just disguised the corset part of her dress, but it was her armor. And she had made the skirt out of the rest of it. And she's got a dagger at the ready.
Oh,
And-
sweet.
Okay.
Mama, what's going on with you?
I'm checking the room, looking for the exits, making sure people are getting to the exits if they need to, and I want to go toss a couple of heals over at our Wigbird friend.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just toss a healing word as I'm surveying the crowd.
You see, people seem to be too afraid to move at this point of Carabas. Like, she just chain lightninged a bunch of
Yeah.
people.
So Wigbird gets 6.
Okay. And Woodward just goes, "Thank you, Your Highness. I'm still going to have a nap."
Okay.
Don't blame him.
Lonnie is going to step beside Ursa in all her menacing stance to back up Ursa with one arm folded over her chest like this after Ursa gives Carabas the warning, so to speak.
Frankly, our plan was better. We were going to pull some pranks on people and turn them into animals for a few hours, and then you had to show up and lightning people.
She goes, well, that sounds fun for a temporary solution, but I'm tired of pranks. I'm tired of searching for princesses who are oh so helpfully escorted away to the woods by pixies. I'm tired of being snubbed by every fucking ball. I'm tired of being kicked out of a coven that I started. And I'm tired of having to hire princesses to recruit my own children to me.
Okay, what? Time out. You don't have things the way that you want them, and so now you are just you're just tripping out and taking it out on people because, oh no, someone didn't invite you to a party. Is this what I'm hearing? People didn't take you to a party, they don't like the way you look, you have problems making friends, and you have to outsource your retrieval of your children because you have a whole castle full of imps. Like, if you look at your level of privilege, okay, compared to everything else that is going on, I have a hard time trying to figure out how your life sucks.
Also, if you enter social interactions with chain lightning, I'm sorry, isn't that a faux pas? I feel like that's a faux pas.
I mean, we're not going to trip because they obviously were bad people. There's a whole family drama thing going on. But there's a room full of innocent people here.
It's like, before all of this, I would have invited you to a ball. This is the kind of thing.
Like, you have a choice right now to really change your story. Because this ends two ways. One, you stop tripping, and we have a party, and we save some people. Or two, you keep tripping, and now everyone is going to have to fight you, there's going to be a whole drama, there's going to be dead people, and that will be your story.
And these young dragons have just gotten some stability in their lives.
Seriously.
Irie's gonna join this. We just come forward and be like, the show of power is complete. You've demonstrated what you can do here, and you've demonstrated your will. Ruling is not just power. Ruling is taking care of people. And if you don't want to do that, you don't want to rule. And having power and not ruling, that is another class of being altogether. But if you
also,
want to
I will say additionally, you're thinking about ruling a bunch of kingdoms that all have their rules and regulations. Trust me, it's not worth it.
Like, we're women trying to help out another, woman. Trying to help you out here, right? By giving you some good advice.
I'm not even from here.
Yeah.
And this world is a mess. If you want to help clean it up, you can start by resolving this conflict and not taking it further. It's a beautiful opportunity if you're willing to use it.
She kind of smiles. Your words have touched me. And she places her hand on one of the centerpieces of flowers. And as she holds her hand there, you see the centerpiece just grow massively, an outgrowth of roses and thorns and thistles, until the whole floor is covered with thorny vines. She says, I'm sorry, I stopped listening.
Of course you did. I believe that everybody deserves a chance to listen and hear reason.
We
And
tried.
And you just resolved it by deciding to redecorate. Um, People deal with things in different ways, but I cannot let you put these baby dragons in danger. Which you have, which is irresponsible.
Well, they're not in danger. It's a learning opportunity. What are a bunch of princesses going to do to a dragon?
How I was trained.
And as she says that, she starts to stretch, and you see her body elongate, and the horns become part of her head until she's a massive black dragon standing in the middle of the floor.
Okay, who else saw that coming? Like, I'm just wondering.
That did not seem unlikely.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
boy.
what she's now going to do, that's goddamn, is she's going to look for where Thaddeus is, because she really was having this conversation so Thaddeus could hear everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to look over to Thaddeus, and she's going to say, "And this is who wants you to come and live with her while she does this to these babies."
And he kind of looks down and goes, I don't like that, ma'am. I don't. I know I'm young, but I don't think that's a good idea.
And she's going to say, "Thaddeus, you are now an honorary member of the Rescue Aid Society, and your job is going to be to make sure that these baby dragons stay safe."
And at that point, he kind of looks at the merry musicians and just goes, "All right, boys, hold on to your horses just a second. Give me some room." And transforms into a red dragon. And makes this loud, piercing whistle to the sky. And all of the baby dragons make the same whistle. And Caravel's looks pretty confused.
I'm going to yell at her, "Parenthood is not about control. It is knowing when to let go and let them be themselves. If you think you can control your children, you have another thing coming, my friend. That is not motherhood, and that is not leadership."
Just like, she kind of looks at the kids and just goes, "Go, attack!" And they just kind of flap there, and the white dragon and the green dragon start to fly. But the white dragon just kind of swirls around the room and then lands behind Thaddeus. And those of you who speak Draconic hear Princess Sparkles just go, "Sparkles!"
I love him.
And he tries to run to Lilani and kind of trips on the plant growth, so he does like a skid.
Oh, wait, and Lilani pretends she didn't see him fall and just try to help him up. Oh my goodness, look at how good you're doing. Oh, that is Thaddeus. Thaddeus is the best person ever I have ever met.
And you see the gold dragon just kind of looking around and then just start eating at the food table. And taking some of the plates and knickknacks that haven't been covered with plants and sticking them under his wings.
Yes.
Perfection.
Amazing.
Excellent.
And Caramelos just looks at you and goes, this isn't how this was supposed to go. Everyone out! And you see the rest of the princesses who weren't armored and like ready for a fight, running and trying to not trying to trip, but like tripping over the plants as they try to skitter out.
Yeah, Ursa will try and help some of them up that trip. It's like everything will be alright. just need to have a little talk with Carabas and
Mage hand.
maybe give her a spanking if she doesn't listen.
We'll lock the door.
Doors open.
Yeah.
Mage hand.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Why are you stopping me?
We're not stopping you.
They've all slighted me. Most of them don't take you seriously either. I bet one of them even gave you pieces of that cursed axe.
I wouldn't be terribly surprised.
I don't go through my life hoping people like me. I go through my life hoping that I make a difference in people's lives.
I've learned a few things that I wasn't expecting after getting this axe. If you were to go through with your plan that you had originally, you would be 10 times more miserable than before.
Ultimate power accompanied by throngs of future generations doesn't sound terrible.
And having your children fear you rather than love you.
That's ridiculous. And then looks around and sees them, for the most part, kind of cowering from her. And like nestled into you or into Thaddeus.
There is nothing worse than having your own family look upon you with fear. And know they are right.
She turns back into her, like, fae form.
I've wanted what you're looking for. And I've bartered for what you're looking for. And it's lost to me now. And I don't know if I'll ever have enough to give to get it back. And I'm not as strong as you. I'm not as terrifying to my enemies as you are. But it's not worth it. And I wish someone had told me that before I signed. I hope I can help you avoid what I have written into my story. And she's not making eye contact with anybody and steps back a little bit.
If we can keep going, like, I'm sure we all have lots of stories about how we've had to overcome things and get to where we are and why what you are doing is a bad idea. But I think you kind of know that now.
You made your point. She waves her hand and all of the plants vanish, except for, the original little centerpiece. And just looks at the baby dragons and says, "You know where home is. You can come with me or stay here. It's up to you." And she throws up one of her hands and casts a large green flame in front of her and walks through it.
She waits, Belani waits until she has, gone all the way through, and she turns to the others and
Okay, while everyone is distracted right now,
just handle your business. The woman is on the floor, the crown is up. Just go.
no. But Queen Choden is unconscious, right?
Mhm.
Going to go over there like I'm going to help?
Since I know a bit about the deal with the crown, I have Mage Hand ready. I can pick it up, maybe. And then no one has to touch it in case it's a push activation thing. So, like, help get it, I guess, off the head of this pretender to the crown.
Yeah, we'll try and, like, once sees that happen, like, go into a corner of the room and then just quickly, like, tap that one jewel with the axe and see if it breaks.
Give me an attack roll.
Sure. Sounds good. That'll be,
Mostly to make sure you don't roll a 1.
Yeah, no, didn't roll a run. Rolled a natural 18 plus 7, so whatever that is.
Okay, yeah, that thing shatters.
Okay. As it shatters, I mean, it's a small one, so it probably practically turns into dust.
Mm-hmm.
If Ari's looking closely, I think Ari's the only one close enough to see. The dust shards, it looks like they try and dissipate for a moment, but then some of them seem to, like, stick to the axe, and some of them seem to embed themselves into Yrsa's hand.
Is that what it was meant to do?
And she just kind of, like, flexes her hand for a moment, and there doesn't seem to be any visible signs outside, and it's just something like that happened before, but it's gone. So that's the important thing.
What it's going to do to you is also important. Are you okay?
I'll be fine. Or I won't. It's like, I'll be fine, or I won't. But this is something I have to do.
Huddled over in the musician stand, you see the merry musicians looking in horror at Thaddeus. Just like going, what in the hell?
Kalani is going, okay, so...
Y'all don't look surprised. You knew?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Sometimes people look at you that turns into a wolf and back again. You know what it's like. Sometimes you're a wolf, sometimes you don't look like a wolf. It's a thing.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Would you want somebody to look at you the way that you are looking at him because they see something else come out of you that they didn't know?
And Brother Full just goes, well, he is awful red.
He was already red.
I know. So, was that a hint?
A hint or not, but now I know while we finish all the cleanup, they're going to need some music. So that is what you guys can do. Get the music going, teach these baby dragons how to get their groove on.
And Thaddeus just goes with pleasure, ma'am, and reverts back to being a tabaxi.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of baby dragons run over to all of you and just go like, and Yrsa and Ari, you can't totally understand what they're saying.
Sure.
You can understand, Ari, you can understand the green dragon, I believe. But,
Oh!
because I believe,
Okay.
yeah, the green and blue dragon have swim speed. But, but they're pretty much just saying in Draconic, like, where do we go? Where do we go?
We can figure that out after we have snack and to fly with Auntie Ursa today. And we're just going to have a party.
Okay, should we stay with you? Do we stay with Uncle Thaddeus? Where do we go? Do we go home to Mama?
I think it's good to go home to Mama so she doesn't feel lonely. But remember that if she ever makes you do something or asks you to do something that you don't want to do, you have one, two, three, four. You have multiple aunties who will pop in different ways right away because your mommy is going to have to learn how to be kind.
And also, I'm sure you can always contact your Uncle Thaddeus
Yes.
for some help. And I'm sure he's going to be visiting often.
Okay. Can we stay and dance while you clean?
Yes, and have some snacks.
Snacks! And they all start like flapping their wings excitedly. And you see that even the first one you got that just had little wing nubbins now has like full wings.
Oh,
Baby.
my heart.
And surrounded by 5 baby dragons and being played out by 1 red dragon disguised as a tabaxi. You end the night.
And I will say, Yursa will take a look at the dungeons and see if there's
Yeah, we're gonna
yeah.
go.
I'm gonna pull like Joan and Histina while they're still passed out.
Mhm.
Like, no, we are locking this down. We are finding the real queen of Inglaterra. Like,
probably doing a switch out of people who are in prison. And people
yeah, like they don't even notice. They just wake up. You're in the other-
100%.
Okay, you can totally do that, and some of the other princesses will help you out because they're like, Queen Jenna sucks. Anyway, you see Queen Roberta down in shackles with like a massive lion mane. She's kind of like, it's about time.
This is like the credits roll sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here to talk to Roberta about the Avengers Initiative. No.
And anything else y'all want to do before we end? Well, thank you so much, everybody. This has been Princesses Save Dragons. I had so much fun. This was like a dream campaign, and I can't thank you all enough. Yeah, I love you all. My name's Jess. I write games and stuff like Book of Seasons, Solstices, which is right behind me, and Equinoxes is coming out super soon, and Uncaged Volume 4, which I'm in. I wrote my very first adventure ever for, and also wrote a new class for. Just came out, so check that out on DM's Guild. It kicks ass. And come back on Tuesday for Paws and Claws, which is gonna have Honey and Christina on it this week. And then come back on Friday for Three Flings, which is gonna be really fun. We love you so much. Mwah. And Lilani, tell us who you are and where we can find you.
Hello, I am Honey, aka Honey and Dice. You can find me on Twitter at Honey and Dice, and you can also find me on Instagram at Honey and Dice, but there's nothing on the Instagram. I just wanted to make sure no one else took that name. I am a IT cybersecurity professional by day, and by the evening I am the person that plays on different charity streams and things like that. I am the creator of the Embrace the Initiative workshop, which was created to help build and support new and existing DMs to make them more comfortable and confident in their hobby, focusing more on the heart than the mechanics. I also have a new workshop that I will be rolling on at Gen Con if it gets approved. That's called Buffing Your Business, in order to give small business owners and independent creators more advice, tips, and tricks on how to stay secure online and in their business interaction. That's about it. You can see me on stuff that Jess runs. You can see me on the Onyx Path channel every other Tuesday as Miss Eartha Kitty. You can see me on Uncaged Live or Scraticus or some of the other series we don't usually up there. Information or that. That's about it. That's all I do. I'm everyone's biggest cheerleader.
Ari. Who are you? Where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Margaret May. I have been your creepy tentacle warlock, and by day I'm a content manager for a nonprofit, so I get to write stories about real life heroes and their weirdo adventures, and then at night and really all the other times I get to write gaming adventures. So they're inspired by it. You can find my work in Uncaged Volume 1, where I wrote a module dedicated to the muse Orania. So if you ever want to win her favor, I was particularly delighted by the benefits you win if you win her favor. So check that out. I also have a cache of items in the appendix of Uncaged Volume 4, which came out last week, which Jess's work is also amazing and in, so please check it out. It's fantastic. I write on the internet. I'm Margaret Maynard across social media. And yeah, I love being on streams. I love playing games, and got a bunch of things coming out soon in the writing department. Happy.
Irsa, who are you and where can we find you?
Hi, I am Zan Larson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram under Pale White Rabbit. And I have a Patreon, and if you want portraits of your character like the ones I did for this stream, I have opened up commissions. So I left that in the chat as well. It's only a couple of commissions at first just to see how this works and getting into it. But I also have art in Uncaged Volumes 2, 3, and 4. I have an adventure written in Volume 2. And I have more art in Book of Seasons. I also draw a lot of things. I just draw a lot of things.
And lastly, never leastly, Mama. Who are you? Where can we find you?
Hey everybody, I'm Christina. I also work in nonprofit stuff by day. I do data work, so spreadsheets, ahoy, I love it. And when I'm not doing that, I am doing gaming stuff. I DM a lot in real life in my in Portland. So, woo, Pacific Northwest. If you love the Pacific Northwest, you'll love my adventure in Book of Seasons Solstices. You get to go to Sasquatch Music Festival and party with actual Sasquatches. So, check it out. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm DM_and_Sansa, where you can see a ton of pictures of my little dog Sansa, and also my weird DMing things. So I'm around. I'm here. Come say hi, and yeah, I'll be on Pugmire on Tuesday, so that'll be fun as well. So thank you all for joining us. This was so much fun.
We love you so much. This really just started as a little like Twitter joke, and then it became this huge thing. So thank you so much. And we'll put a thing up on Twitter if we ever do like a one shot or get together for, you know, a reunion. But yeah, this is it for now. So thank you for joining us on this wonderful journey. We love you very much. Good night, everyone.